Right, okay. I'm just doing one video on YouTube, so well, something crossed my mind that I thought I need to add, really. So I thought, okay. Still washing the sheets. I bleached them first, and then right, let's give them a proper wash afterwards. Morning wash, so yeah, they're still washing, so I've got to put them through the dryer as well. So got time. So sitting indoors is just I never used to mind sitting indoors when I had the dogs because took them for a run, they were resting, so that's fine. Sit indoors, do stuff, that's cool. Now, no. It's too empty. That's why I'm cold at night. Because used to having all that body heat in there. Because of course, having 11 dogs, even though 4 of them are not even full size, having 11 dogs, that's all that body heat. All that body heat makes one heck of a difference. Really, really does. Makes a difference to the temperature in the room, doesn't it, really? Well, I think Gracie is probably the one that's making most of the difference, because really since Gracie's been with us, that really is when Chewie has been sort of starting to go down the other side of the bed, really, going down to the bottom. He's getting too hot because she huffs and puffs all night. She really does. She's basically with Gracie. She's like during the night. She makes that sort of sound as if she is in labour. Yeah, because when Lucy's had pups, Mollie's had pups, Amber's had pups, they're quite huffy-puffy. Yeah, when they're close to the point of having pups. Gracie's like that all the time. So what's she going to be like when she's having pups? Jesus. Yeah, for some reason she's like that. She's not overweight. I understand that she was overweight. She's incredibly skinny. So what on earth is going on with Gracie? Why she has to breathe so fast? I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with her. I don't know. It'd be a good idea to get her checked out actually with a vet. Yeah. Right, this video is about control your mind. Yeah. Well, the Bible talks about renewing your mind. It talks about controlling your thoughts and stuff like that. The reason is because your mind is an absolute cesspit. Everyone's mind is. You know, during good times we fantasize because we have quite an imaginary mind there that can fantasize incredibly well. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Oh, they can. Your mind can do a good job of that sort of stuff. Yeah, fantasy. Yep. Historic environment, Scotland. Okay. What are we going there? Maybe. I'm not. Yeah. Those are the people, therefore, who own that property but won't rent it. Yeah, that's quite dumb to me. You never know what their experience has been like in the past, I suppose. Yeah. If they've had bad experiences with tenants, then yeah, it makes more sense to just leave it empty, I suppose. Yeah. Now, as I said, with your mind, oh God, yeah. I mean, I did a video the other day talking about the fact that a lot of people think that if you're being through bad stuff, it means you're supposed to have an amazing ministry. And put it this way, people can certainly fantasize about what that ministry is going to be. Oh yes. Oh yeah. They spend time in their mind, and their mind can make up these wonderful imaginations as to what their life is going to be in the future, because they went through this bad thing. It means that they're going to have this incredible life, but it never happens. When it never happens, people just get disappointed. But they get disappointed in who? Who are they believing in? God. Who do they get disappointed in? God. It's not God's fault you're spending all this time in your mind, is it? Really? We haven't been here for a while, so that's why I figured I'll come here this time, do a little video here. Hi. We used to come here all the time with Covie, but yeah. So, yes, your mind is a very, very dangerous place. That's like the bloke I met last night, the one who talks a lot and was drinking in the park. I mean, it wasn't harmful drinking, he was sitting at a table drinking. have a little drinky, fine, whatever. But he talks a lot, and some of the things he says, well, why are you telling me that? It doesn't make any sense. Most of the things he says, you're like, well, why are you telling me it doesn't make any sense? It's because he's allowing his mind to just basically control his mouth. And that's quite often the way it is for people, you know. There's no control over that. But you're going to have control. There's a lot of that gate now to stop people from getting into it. Weird. That's just weird. Why have people been driving here? There might have been, I don't know. Yeah, generally speaking, that thing over there is usually locked, so people generally don't drive through here, but you never do know. Unless they're closing it for winter, and they haven't really even had it open. So why they're closing it now, I do not know. So there you go. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I suppose part of it is that gate was often left open. And when it's left open, someone can just drive up there. Yeah, motorbikes and stuff like that. And therefore damage the area. And you don't really want that. So, yeah. You never know. I don't know. I mean, that gate was never locked for about, 5 years? Now it's locked. So there's obviously a reason for locking it. Obviously a reason behind it. Now again, part of the reason I wouldn't bring the dogs here, that long grass is a nightmare for ticks. Especially that over there. That's a pain in the arse, that is. Right. Right. Right, this is why I put it this way. I come here and straight away I can see Riley jumping over that area there to get the ball. When I get the ball there, I can see Chewie running round. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's why I said previously in the other videos, if the dogs don't come back, I have to leave. Yeah, I wouldn't leave otherwise. But if the dogs don't come back, then, yeah, put it this way, when I had James, when there was a possibility of me being there with James, I stayed there. But when that possibility ended, I left. I had to leave. I had to leave. The area was just too painful to stay. So I had to leave. And that may very well be the situation here. I don't know. Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah, I was speaking to, well, I said that bloke I was talking to, you know, last night, he said, yeah, just leave anyway. No. No, that's what I mean. If the dogs come back, I'm not going to leave. You know, why would I do that? Yeah, you don't want to get out the frying pan and land in the fire. Not a good idea. So, you leave when it's the right time to leave, and you go to the right place. Yeah, otherwise you don't leave, do you? Otherwise you just, making a rod for your own back. So why do that? Yeah, why go into a situation where you're potentially making it worse for yourself? No point doing that, is there really? No, not at all. There's no point. So, yeah. But yeah, with regards to the mind, we have to understand that the mind is full of all that stuff for years that we've put in there. All those childish thoughts, all those childish ways of dealing with things, all those, even TV programs we've watched, all the people that have been in our lives, they're all in there. Muddled up, jumbled up in there somewhere. Yeah, like folders put away for things you might need to remember in the future. That's why the Bible talks about renewing your mind, because the thing about it is that, your mind is a pretty terrible place to go. Because your mind and your emotions are very, very closely intertwined. And if your emotions are a bit negative, you're looking for the negative. Yeah, if you're sad, you're looking for the saddest things. If you're angry, you're looking for the things that are going to make you more angry. Yeah. It's, yeah. It doesn't help, not in any way, shape or form. Yeah. Well, I say whether you're doing well or doing badly, your mind can be a huge problem. You know, it's something that we need to understand about getting it renewed and getting it, sorted out. With God's help, we need to really seek God on this and say, okay, what do we need to do with this? Yeah, but I say this is where the church has failed us in all these years. Is it? Church has been focused on, doing that. When you become a Christian, you are the old you. You come as the old and new together. The old is supposed to fade away. The new is supposed to grow. The mind is supposed to be renewed. The church has failed in all that. In the majority of cases, the old is still there. Mind is not renewed. No, we have to do that. Certainly, if you're trying to trust in God, if you're trying to retain or regain or retain peace, if your mind is out of control, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're going to have a lot of trouble trying to deal with it. Seriously, a lot of trouble trying to deal with it. Because of the fact that when it comes down to it, part of the reason why I'm getting out is because I'm in there. I'm in there. It's an empty place now compared to what it normally is. Yeah. Isn't it? It's a very empty place compared to what it normally is. So, when you're sitting in a place like that, your mind tends to look at the worst case scenarios, even yourself. You've got other people looking at that about you, but then you seem to look at it yourself. And you do. Oh, you do. Yeah. So your mind plays games. Yeah. It does. It's your mind, but it still tries to play games with you and causes you pain. But it's your mind. It's weird. Your mind is sometimes out to hurt you. Yeah. Well, say, especially when you're feeling a bit low, a bit down, a bit sad, your mind comes in and says, oh, you want sad? There you go. Take a bit of that. These people that commit suicide, their minds are what pushes them to do it. You've got to control your mind. You've got to understand. Your mind is like a very, very, very badly behaved dog. You've got to put a blinking leash on it. A harness, a leash, and a muzzle. Yeah. You've got to put a muzzle on this thing. You've got to control it, you've got to teach it. You've got to teach your mind to just calm the heck down. Just slow it down a bit. You don't need to keep bombarding me with crap all the time. Pack it up. Well, it's like with Amber and with Teri, because Teri is taken after her mum in so many ways. Barking at other dogs. Yeah, you barked. You told me. Okay, yeah, we know. No worries at all. Yeah, okay, sorted. You don't need to keep going. We know, yes. You saw another dog. Yeah, okay. Calm it down there. You told me. Right, what are you shouting about? you already told me. The first time you shouted, that was it. I got the message. You told me. The mind is exactly the same as that, basically. You keep shouting, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Mind, shut up. You just got to tell your mind, enough, enough. Oh, basic. Look at even the greatest of ministers. Sometimes they've had problems with their own mind. They've not necessarily had full control of their minds. So I'm not saying that this is easy to do, not in any way, shape or form. I'm not saying that I've not done it. No. The reason why I'm talking about it is because it's come to my mind that this is something we need to do. Yeah. Right. Oh, indeed, yes. Yeah. Yeah, you would have thought that your own mind would be on your side, wouldn't you? No. No. Your own mind is just like a, say, naughty dog. It's like a naughty child as well, like a 5-year-old naughty child just wants attention all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Locki to a certain degree, because Locki's not a harmful dog in any way, shape or form. But the fact that when you're sitting there, she wants to jump up all the time, that knocks you up. Jesus, all those flies. Because it's a white car. Are they flies or butterflies? I'm not too sure. Not too sure what they are. Weird for flies, but there might be flies. But they're all hanging around that white car. They're all white. But they're not white. I say relax. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She really is. But the fact she wants to jump up all the time just gets a bit sort of, Knox, please, just sit down and spin up. Especially after food, you need to rest. So find a place to lay down. There's tons of beds in there. Go and lay down over there, babes. There's loads of space here. I've made it so there's loads of space here. You've got a nice bed in there. Yeah, why do you want to go and lay down underneath that chair over there? Okay. But as I say, however, let's put it this way. Let's not be... I'm going to make a point now that a lot of people, I suppose you don't understand it. It's like Locki. Locki can be a pain in the arse at times, certainly when she does that. But God, I tell you now, when I go home, I'd love for her to jump up on me. Yep. No worries, I'm not going to push you down. Come and jump up, come and have loves. Yeah. It's like the mind. For those who have lost their mind, oh, and I'd like to have even a tiny bit of control over their mind. They have none. We at least have some. Right, this is another point that I'm going to just mention on this one. It's quite a short video for now. We think about how tough things are now for us, and we do. I've talked about how tough some things are sometimes. For God's sake, look at the Bible. John the Baptist, right, was the basic forerunner for Yeshua, the one to basically light the way. He had his head cut off. Yeah? And then put on a platter. Those days were absolutely brutal. Truly brutal. Yeah. That was hard. They lived in houses then with no central heating, no double glazing, they didn't have televisions, they didn't have computers, they didn't have cars. Yeah? They didn't have electricity, so no electric lights or no mobile phones, no, any of that. And justice was bloody harsh. Yeah? Generally speaking, in those days, we read that if you were a bit of a troublemaker, a bit of a thief and that sort of stuff, you'd be crucified. Crucified! So we think justice can be quite harsh now. Crucified. That's harsh. So start off by being thankful with the fact that you weren't alive then. That was tough. whatever you're going through now, yeah, if God can help people then, yeah, the early Christians were stoned to death. Yeah, if God can help them to go through that, I'm blinking sure He can help you to go through whatever it is you're going through. Because whatever it is you're going through is nothing compared to what people went through then. Nothing at all. A lot of insane, crazy crap happened then. Oh yeah. In those days, the justice was really, really tough. Really, really harsh. And it continued like that for centuries, didn't it? All over. Yeah. Some of the ways that justice was brought, Jesus. Well, I mean, it's after that you had things like the horse-drawn carts and stuff like that, where, you know, hung, drawn, and quartered, all that sort of stuff. Ugh. That sort of justice, Jesus. Now, I suppose that was only handed out to the worst, the worst, the worst, the worst, the worst. But, you know, if you lived in a village and you had a neighbour who was a complete a-hole most of the time, you wouldn't put up with it. You'd challenge them to a sword fight, and that was it. One of you would be dead, wouldn't you? You wouldn't muck around with it, because that wasn't the way things were then. Now, we put up with so much from people that certainly in those days they wouldn't have done. But, you know, even when we're complete a-holes to people, we don't lose our lives over it. We've all been that. We've all been out of order to people, haven't we? All been out of order to people at some point in time. All of us have done that, especially in today's time, because we can get away with it. In the Western world, we can get away with it, can't we? In some places you can't, but in the Western world, yeah. Do and say whatever you want to do and say. It doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, in those days, that was tough, sir. No matter how your mind tells you, oh, it's so bad, it's so terrible, your life, how could you possibly live another second? Understand, if you was alive then, you could call that tough, you could call that harsh. What you've got nowadays is cotton candy compared to what they had then. So if you can change your outlook to see it that way, then, you know, anything your mind has to say, just call it a liar. Because generally speaking, your mind is a liar. Right? So quite often, you pray, you ask God a question, your mind will answer and tell you what you want to hear. I was talking about that earlier, right? But you'll ask God a question, but you'll get an answer, it just won't be God. Most of the time it's coming from your mind. But it's a lie. Yeah. You can't trust it in any way, shape or form. Anything your mind says, just say, no, I'm not going to trust that. Now, yeah, easier said than done. Yeah, I'd agree. Have I perfected that? No, not in any way, shape or form. No. But put it this way, I mean, for me, look, I know I did videos the other day. The video I did the other day, the night the dogs were taken, I think. The night when the dogs were taken. I did a video about God's been preparing me for this. Because even though they were taken, at the moment they were taken, I was incredibly stressed, incredibly emotional, incredibly enraged. But after a bit, I went out, did a video, ranted and raved, and then calmed down, realised, hold it. God's been talking to me about, you know, find ways to find your peace, and then retaining your peace. And then, you know, the situation about Chewie moving down the bed at night, so that when I roll over, he's not there. Of course, now, if I roll over, he's not there, it doesn't matter so much, it doesn't hurt. I don't suddenly wake up thinking, oh, where's Chewie? Because he hasn't been there. Yeah, the stupidest things. Like last night, it's I go and get these things here, which are turn it round. These things there. So I've got a box of those. So when I get one of those, then when the one I've had in my pocket is empty, I go and get another one down. And for some reason, it's just Amber. Amber goes mental. She knows what it means. She knows it means that we're probably going out. She knows it means I'm going out, which probably means that she might be going out. So she starts whining as soon as I reach for the box. So of course I had to get a new one of these last night because I've run out. And yeah, I missed her doing it. Even though whenever she's done it, certainly for a while, I've asked her to quieten down because, of course, you try and be respectful from neighbours. As I said in the video earlier, I'm not going to ask her to quieten down anymore. No. That's the reality. Yeah. Things are going to change. Oh, yeah. Things are going to change. I'm not going to be turning off the dogs half as much as I was before. Part of the reason I was is because, the neighbours. Trying to sort out the barking. Now, of course, some barking is a bit... So, come on. When they're walking around upstairs, you don't need to be barking at them. Yeah, I know they're upstairs. That's fine. Yeah. When they're slamming things outside, which they do, the doors and the bins and stuff like that, then bark away. I don't care. They want to do that. They know you're going to bark. So if they want you to bark, then okay, bark. I don't care. Go and do that. If that's what they want you to do. If they don't want you to bark, stop slamming the crap out of stuff. The dogs won't bark then. If you close things quietly, they won't bark. Yeah. So, yeah. So sort out your mind. Control it. Understand that most of what's coming from your mind isn't true. It's a lie. So probably 90% of what's coming from it is a lie. So put it where it belongs. If your mind is lying, then ignore it. Yeah. What's that in the air over there? Is that a plane over there? I can't hear the plane. It's going incredibly slow. I can hear a police car, but I can't hear them. Oh, it's there. Police car is zooming over there. There's a plane. Oh, it's a big plane as well. Okay. Probably why I can't hear it. It's a big plane. Moving incredibly slowly. Not one of these great big, incredibly fast jet things that's incredibly noisy. Anyway, there you go. Right. I will leave you to it. I say with your mind, well, yeah. It's a bad place. You've got to deal with it. I mean, if 90% of what your mind is telling you is a lie, then, as I say, it's a cesspit. And for most people, your mind is going to be lying to you all the time. That's the reality. That is the reality. So all these people who have no control over their minds, they don't live in the reality anymore. They don't live in truth. They live in some sort of fantasy existence in their own mind now. Their mind is lying to them all the time. People with schizophrenia, people with even dementia, their mind is tricking them all the time. Their mind is making them think that, even though it's 2021, the mind is making them think it's now 1997. Even though the husband or wife might have died, the mind is making them think that they're still alive. That they're going to come through that room in a minute. That they've completely forgotten all that detail. The mind is taking it away. Well, not taking it away, just basically covered it over. Yeah. Maybe because it's painful. Maybe just because it's dementia. Because that happens when people have dementia. But learn from that sort of stuff. Learn from schizophrenia, dementia. Understand that that's what the mind is anyway to everyone. It's just it's worse for them than it is for the rest of us. But basically that's what the mind is like. It's not a peaceful, controlled area. It's completely the opposite to that. And we need to understand that, because then when we get the crap coming from our mind, we need to know where it's coming from. We need to appropriate that and say, right, ignore that. All that, well, you get it. You get it. You might have, a good 30 seconds of crap coming from your mind. Just right, that last 30 seconds, ignore that. There you go. Saying that, I'm not saying it's easy. It's something we need to do. It's for our own sakes. For our own sakes. We need to be in control of ourselves. And if your mind is like that, as I say, if you're sad, your mind shows you all the sadness. If you're angry, the mind shows you the anger. If you're hopeless, the mind shows you all the hopeless crap. All the reasons why you should be hopeless. Mind is a nasty piece of work. It really is. It ain't good. No. The Bible doesn't describe the mind as good. That's why so many people are having to seek help, mental health, because of the mind. The mind is a very, very bad area for us. We need to learn to control it. We need to learn to recognise, what it produces and just ignore it. Just put that straight into delete. Just delete it. Anyway, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.